Newcastle to Liverpool this summer, saying that not everyone has the full picture. Isak was speaking to reporters after he made his first appearance of the season in Sweden's defeat by Kosovo.
Det är lite som det är. Det är klart att alla inte har fulla bilden, men det är en diskussion för en annan dag. Just nu så ligger en besvikelse över den här matchen och hur den har gått, men samtidigt en positiv känsla inför klubblagsdelen som kommer. Sånt är en del av fotbollen. Jag kan inte kontrollera allt som sägs eller skrivs. Jag är glad att jag blev en Liverpool-spelare. Det var det jag ville, och det är jag jätteglad över.
Now he's eventually got his own way. Could that affect him slightly?
Yeah, because ultimately he's got what he wanted. He wanted to play for Liverpool Football Club.
But taking a lot of heat in the...
Yeah, but that's part and parcel of football. It was going to happen, maybe because of the way it's gone about. If he looks back in time, he thinks, oh, maybe I could have dealt with these things differently. But ultimately, he got his move. He got his move to Liverpool, and that is it. Now it's about how quickly can he get, not the Liverpool fans on side, because I think they already are, but I think it's how much can they get them backing him because he's putting the ball in the back of net and performing well for the football club.
He has said, when he was on Duty to Sweden, very, very briefly, he kind of said that people don't really know what was going on, but I do. As a player, do you want to tell everybody what really happened, just to give your side of the story? We got Eddie Howe's side. I'm not sure if it was all his decision. We got his side because he was the manager and he had to do his news conferences. But Isak, we didn't really hear from.
Yeah, you do want to go out and speak your bit, but ultimately, whatever you say is going to be monitored and looked through and think, he's just saying this because of the reaction of the football club. Ultimately, you're never going to know, other than the club and the player, what they actually spoke. Is the truth actually going to come out? 9 times out of 10 it doesn't, and it's probably better off that it doesn't get aired the way it does.
So it's better that he doesn't say anything?
Just why? Now he needs to let the football do the talking. All we've done is speak about this situation for the last 3-4 months. Now it's all on him. It's on his broad shoulders to go and wear the Liverpool shirt, go across that white line and put in performances that we football fans have seen at Newcastle. Now he needs to go and do that for Liverpool because he's a £125 million player. Now he needs to go and show why Liverpool paid that money for him.
So Haaland and Isak were on international duty. So was Hugo Ekitike. Actually made his France debut. He came off the bench in both of their games in the break. For Liverpool, what would happen if Ekitike just keeps scoring? Even though they got Isak there, what happens if he keeps scoring?
But Ekitike can only worry about himself. And if he keeps scoring, that's what he's in the team for. And if he keeps putting in performances that are helping Liverpool win games of football, then he's doing his job. So it'll be hard for him to shift. Now, I can sit here all the time and say, oh, well, the players that have come in England are doing great and it's their shirt. Well, ultimately, at the moment, it's Hugo Ekitike's shirt. And if he keeps scoring, then it's Alexander Isak's job to kind of displace him for that. Or if Arne Slot finds a different way in. But Hugo Ekitike at the moment is putting the ball in the back of the net for Liverpool. And that's his job.
So Isak, you can't imagine a £125 million player staying on the bench. So when you say that the manager would have to find a way of getting him in, how would he do that?
Well, someone's going to have to drop. Someone is going to drop out. He's going to change his formation. The midfield three is pivotal. But also, you've got a £110 million player in Florian Wirtz in the team also. So he's going to play. You're thinking Isak's going to play. In the way I look at it, I think Cody Gakpo is going to be the one that kind of misses out a little bit in the league anyway. But he's just signed a new deal. So they've got so many attacking options, but it's just finding that right fix. And it wouldn't surprise me if he almost plays around with it a little bit to see what actually works. And don't be surprised if Ekitike and Isak play as a two as well.
Now, Viktor Gyökeres did play for Sweden in both games. He didn't score, but Johan Wissa was on international duty and he scored twice. What do you expect from him this season now that he has got his move?
Well, what he's done at Brentford, he's Premier League proven. Now he needs to go and do that at Newcastle. Yes, you can say he was a replacement for Wilson and all that kind of palaver, but the new lad that's coming in, Nick Voldemar, the problem is he's not Premier League proven. He needs to hit the ground running. So Johan Wissa is already there. He's Premier League proven and he needs to almost go there. He's wearing the Newcastle number 9 shirt, so almost that brings its own pressure. And they've got goals to add up because Isak scored 24 Premier League goals for them and now they're no longer in the team. Them two need to go and prove that. For me, I see it as he's going to do well there. he will be the person that takes Newcastle, continues Newcastle on the level. I really do.
Now, because he's away with Democratic Republic of Congo, he doesn't actually get back until Thursday morning. Does that rule him out? They play Saturday at 3 p.m. Does that rule him out in your experience of dressing rooms?
It doesn't rule him out of being involved in the squad. For me, it rules him out of starting. I look back at the time at Southampton where Maya Yoshida was with the Japanese team, national team, and he'd always fly back in on a Thursday and he'd never start. The issue you have is then the player gets frustrated because they want to play. So it's not their fault that they're playing international football and they can only get back as soon as Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon.
And as a striker, are you kind of going back to that person with the shirt scoring goals? Will he be panicking, thinking, well, they've just broken their record on Nick Voltemada, and he will probably have to play if Wissa isn't considered to be fit? Will that be on his mind?
That's going to be on his mind, of course, but as centre forwards, you've got to have the confidence, you've got to have the self-belief. You put yourself in them positions that you're going to score goals. And that's the biggest thing. And I think that's what you see in good strikers. After they miss, where is their next movement? Do they put themselves in that position to miss again or to score again? And that'll be the interesting one. And that's the difference ultimately from the top strikers. They go again and again. And they won 11 and he scored 5 goals and he just kept doing it again and again.
And we did mention Victor Gyökeres there, but didn't actually talk about him yet. He didn't score for Sweden or anything like that. But we've talked about all those players ahead of him. Does that take a little bit of pressure off him at Arsenal? Yes, he costs a lot of money. Yes, he's the striker that Arsenal have wanted for a long time. But he wasn't the only big striker to make a move this summer.
No, he wasn't, but he was part of that pool of players. And the other ones have almost performing and putting the ball in the back of net. But the thing with Victor Gyökeres and Arsenal is that's all they've cried out for. And everybody spoke about it. If Arsenal have a number 9, they will get over the line. If Arsenal get a number 9, that will get over the line. And this is the situation they're in. So I think being an Arsenal centre forward is always going to bring its pressure, the price tag. And ultimately, the last couple of years, because we've continuously been saying if they get a centre forward, they'll get over the line. So that's the situation he will find himself in.
I think just before the start of the season, we were asking about certain things like who's going to be the top goal scorer. I think you might have said Haaland.
Yes.
Say Haaland? Anything to suggest it's not going to be that? I mean, I know we're 3 games in. And Isak hasn't played yet.
And Isak, I think it's easy to say Haaland. Regards to City's performances so far, 1 win in 3. But he's the person that puts himself in the position to score goals game after game. And there's no reason why he won't go on the run that he has done previous seasons.
Right, well, next, it is your questions for Charlie Austin. You can ask him anything within reason. If you haven't already asked a question, scan that QR code that you can see on the side of your screen. You can leave a voice note, which will play out to him. You can send a WhatsApp on it as well. X, Instagram, Facebook, hashtag Sky Sports FC.
Ramsey says forcing his way into Thomas Tuchel's England squad was one of the main reasons behind his move from Aston Villa to Newcastle. Ramsey moved to St James's Park in a deal worth up to £43 million and he's already looking forward to big Champions League nights starting next Thursday at home to Barcelona.
First and foremost, trying to get into the Newcastle team week in, week out, and then with my performances and hopefully get goals and assists and get into the England setup. I feel like the past couple of years I was close. Had a few injuries which probably set me back. But hopefully now I can get into the squad, and obviously the lads last season won the Carabao Cup. Hopefully we can win again.
You've got experience, of course, in top competitions already, but how much are you looking forward to playing for Newcastle in the Champions League?
Obviously my debut was against Liverpool, and that atmosphere was up, and I'm sure next Thursday is going to be even better. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously Barcelona are a top team, global team, but I'm sure at St James's Park they're going to find it difficult.